Well, after overwhelming requests for this particular item, I decided to go ahead and show it to you. Today we're taking a look at a way to bake indoors during an emergency safely and outdoors using biomass, sticks, twigs, whatever. Today we're looking at the Instafire Ember oven. Let's check this thing out and let's make some cookies. All right, folks, welcome back. Now, I've demoed all sorts of ovens on this channel. The propane ovens, the ovens that sit on top, the Coleman's ones that fold flat and open up and they sit on top of your burner. But a lot of them are very difficult to regulate. Well, today we're going to see how well this regulates itself. And I got to tell you, this thing is built like a tank. It is really, really well made. You guys saw when I did the other item that used the little, used these little Sterno camping canned heat things, the heater, and that thing worked very, very well. And to this day, I'm still using it. It still sits there when I need it. It's not cold enough for it today. But this thing is really, really well made, and it's the first of its kind. This allows you to bake safely indoors, completely off-grid, or outside using biomass. Again, if people probably don't know what that means, it's basically twigs, sticks, whatever that you'll find, and you can stick that up in here and cook using it in there. You just drop it in. It's that simple. If you're going to be using your little cans of canned heat, you're going to open up this section here and put 2 in there. We'll explain how all this works, but I just want to listen to this door. This was the thing that got me with this. I took it out of the box, I opened it up, and I'm like, wow, this thing looks really nice. And then I opened the door, and I closed it. And it's like closing the door on like a Mercedes or a Rolls Royce or something. This thing is really well made. So it's going to be interesting to see how it performs. Now, it does have a little chimney back here. This will emit smoke when you are using biomass, when you're using, sticks and stuff. This will not emit smoke. It's emit a little bit of heat when you're using the canned heat. And that's why it's safe to use indoors. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to set it up, and then I'm going to explain how this thing works, because this got a lot of patented technology in this that will make this thing work far better than what you might think. So let me get the door open and turn this so you can kind of see it. We'll turn on the 2 little canned heats and we'll get this thing rolling. All right, so this is going to come with some accessories. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is this big heavy piece of metal here. This is going to go over your canned heat, okay? And that way, this shields it from getting too hot. You don't want it to get too hot. This could overheat. You got to be careful with that. So we're going to be using that. It does have a snuffer for both of them, if you want to snuff both out. And also, too, when your temperature gets to its desired range, around 350 is what we're going to be using today, you're going to want to cap the first one. Now, if the temperature drops too rapidly, if you're in a very cold environment, you may need to open that back up and light it. This is your poker for your fire. So when you're putting your biomass down here, you can poke and get things moving. This also has a way to lower the temperature by keeping it closed, or turn the temperature up by opening it up. On the side here, and I'm going to spin it around, you have there's a grill in here, like a little grid, and you can push that grate to open it and close it. So when you're using the biomass, let's put that up like that, you can set it up that way. Get back in there. There we go. Okay. So when you're using your biomass, you can either put the grate there for a good start burn, and then drop it down in there. Now also, too, if you want a really good burn, on the back here is another vent. And you can open and close that. So get started, we're going to leave this open and let it heat up as fast as possible. Allow the most oxygen in there. We're going to leave that back open, and we're going to leave, I wish I had a bigger piece of wood here, the front open, so as to get the most oxygen into our fire. And that will stand true whether you're using biomass or you're using the canned heat. So let's get these in here. We'll just open that up. Everything about this is really well thought out. You'll notice a little latch back there. That actually snaps in there, so this won't fall out by accident. That's really cool too, because that was kind of a concern of mine when I saw people using these and thinking, geez, how's that going to work, It's going to tip out of there or not. So let's open these up. All right, there's the second one. Get it in there. I'm going to put the protective cover over the top of both of them, and we're going to light them up. And what Nevada channel would not be complete without a Las Vegas lighter? All right. Are we lit yet? These sometimes take a while to get going. So we want to bring this up to about 350. It's going to take a little bit. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to get it up to temperature. I think I got it. Did I get it? No. These can be finicky to light too. I didn't really mush this one around a lot. Sometimes if you move the wicks around and mush them around a bit, it'll help. Now this is the first time I'm using this, so we're going to see how well this works. I'm going to move it back around for you. And while we're waiting for that temperature to come up, I'm going to give you more info on the oven itself. Now, I don't want folks to think you can only use wood in this. You can use a couple of lumps of charcoal in there, and that will work well. I wouldn't use more than 3. That will work very well on it. Be a little bit neater, too, than pouring wood down there and getting wood smoke everywhere. You can use the wood, of course. That works very, very well. I'm already starting to feel the heat coming out of it. But how this works is really interesting. It's got a 2-layer burn chimney, so it will increase the oxygen flow, and it will capture almost all the heat from even the smallest flame. Even those little flames in there, it's going to capture all that heat in there, okay? So it increases the oxygen flow inside. It has a heat distribution manifold, so this will transfer all the heat from over here using a unique patent pending distribution manifold that will circulate evenly throughout the whole oven. And if you take a look at this thing and how it's constructed, when you get this, you're going to be putting this pan inside here. I can already feel a little warmth in there. You're going to be putting this pan inside here. Now, this doesn't come with pans. All right, you're going to have to go out and buy your own. What I did for demo today is I just made myself a cheap little makeshift pan out of some tin foil because we're going to be making some cookies with it. That'll work fine for my usage, and then I'm going to go out. I'm actually going to take this with me to Walmart and see if I can find a metal pan about this size. I fit it in there. It works perfectly. All right, so let's close that back up again. I love this door. I love the sound of that. So like I explained, you can adjust the air control with this. You can close it, make it bigger or smaller, depending on how much oxygen you want. In the beginning, of course, we want it full bore going, so we're not going to be messing with that at all. Now, the coolest part about this is the way I'm doing this and the way I'm demoing it purposely is because you can bake indoors with this. This is perfectly safe. Using these little containers of the canned heat, you don't have to worry about carbon monoxide, at least not as much. You should still be careful, and you should always have a carbon monoxide alarm handy, but definitely very cool. So, you can choose what you want to do with it. You can choose how you want to do it. You have the air control knobs plus the rear vent to allow as much oxygen in there as much as you want. And with the canned heat like we're doing today, we're going to cap one to lower or maintain the temperature that you have, okay? So if this gets to be too high, I would just open this up and I'd cap the front one and leave the back one burning. That simple. So let's let it heat up. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes. And as you notice, it hasn't moved. I can feel it warmer, but it hasn't moved yet. And it is a little chilly out here, and this was out here all night. So we're going to let this heat up, and we're going to try and make some cookies. I'll be back with the cookie batter once we get it up to a decent temperature. All right, so we are at 350. Now, the cookies recommend you bake them at 370, so I'm not going to put the cap on yet until we reach 370. It took about 25 minutes. Not too bad. I reinforced my little pretend tray here. We're going to put these in and see just how well this bakes them. So it is 10 o'clock right now, so in about 12 to 15 minutes I should be able to come back and have myself some cookies baked. All in all, so far, really impressed with it. It does take a while to heat up, but, you know, hey, you're baking off-grid safely in your home. What are you going to be doing? You're not going to be running around wanting this to hurry up. So all in all, pretty impressed with it. So let's get it going here, see how much longer we got till it cooks up my cookies, and I'll bring you back, and then we'll finish up the video. All right, so it's been about 18 minutes. These were anywhere from 15 to 17 minutes. About 18 minutes. We're perfectly at 470. I did extinguish the first one, so the back one is the only one burning. I closed the back vent, and I partially closed this vent, taking it down a little bit. I didn't want it to get too high. And it looks like they're done, minus my crummy baking skills that turned them all into like a pan brownie. But it looks like they're finished. So what I'm going to do is take them out, and I'm going to let them cool, and then we'll try one out, and I'll give you some final information on the stove itself, because this thing is really cool. All right, so we are all done. They came out awesome. I've already had a little bit. I had to try it. I am letting it cool off. It will smoke a lot. When you put these out, they tend to smolder and do that, but that's fine. Nothing wrong with it. As you can see, the temperature is way down. It's only been about 5 minutes, and the tray is completely empty. And I'll keep that in there. I'll probably run over to Walmart and get some smaller trays for it today. But all in all, very impressed with it. It did a really good job. Baked the cookies perfectly. I have to let them cool down a little bit because they're still kind of mushy because they're hot. But came out great. And the temperature control using the knobs worked a lot better than I thought it would. The minute it got close to 400, I just put it part way there. And next thing you know, it dropped right back down to 350. So temperature controls work well on it. I do want to try it, and I'll probably do another video with it, depending on how well this video does, with some sticks and stuff like that, and some twigs, and see how that works, maybe even some charcoal. They say it's a little faster that way, but honestly, to have the convenience of being able to bake off-grid indoors is pretty amazing. I mean, it only took it about 20 minutes to get up to temperature, and as you can see, it's cooling down rather rapidly. No problems there. I am going to leave this open to cool it off once we're done with the video. But I wanted to give you a little information on the stove itself. You can pick these up for $169.94. Now, there are two places. They're over on Amazon. You can go right over there and get it. And they're also over on My Patriot Supply, and that's preparewithiridium.com. If you go over there, you're going to click on that logo on the top there, and click the Patriot Supply logo on the top and go into the site and find it there. So you'll find it over there, but they're also available on Amazon. If you want to pick one up on Amazon, that's perfectly fine. First link will be right to Amazon, and of course, you know my Patriot Supply link down below. So for $169, it works indoors or outdoors. You can bake reliably, very well, really tasty stuff. I mean, that came out awesome. Take a bite. Good stuff. Now, it will remain hot for a while, so you don't want to touch this after you're done. Let it cool all the way down. Again, I'm going to open this up and let it drain once I get the cookies out of the way. Move them over here and start that right now, actually. And as you can see, my little plate worked pretty darn well. Only a few little crumbs on it. And that's not hot to the touch, which is convenient after I let it cool off. So definitely cool. It did what it was supposed to do. Works well. I'm really impressed with it, and I like the fact that I can use this to bake in videos too now, instead of having to drag out the big propane stove that's way too high, or the other one where I stick it on a burner and everything gets burned because you can't control the heat as well. Very controllable, really nice, really well made, and again, love that door sound. Love that door sound. So that's the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out the link down below for this. It's also on my Patriot Supply link. That's preparewithiridium.com. Don't forget to check out our Amazon affiliate store, which this will, of course, be in. Even if you bookmark the link and shop there every day using that link, we really do appreciate it. It helps us bring cool stuff like this to the channel. And our freeze-dry wholesalers link, that's down there below. Saves you 15% per using my link. And yes, you can bake stuff from freeze-dry wholesalers in here too. Maybe we'll make some chicken parmesan next time. Bake it in here. And of course, our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Don't forget to check that out as well. I thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I understand it's ran a little long today. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.